Friday, magafana nomnye, guys. It's another day, another way, and another opportunity to do more. Of course, it is another opportunity as well for us to catch up and find out what is happening in the world of our current affairs. Moments in Current Affairs, proudly brought to you by Keith Ngesi Radio. Motivation, entertainment, spirituality, and current affairs. Good morning. Remember, we were telling you about the story about Marvin Gaye's estate apparently suing Ed Sheeran for copyright infringement. Well, Ed Sheeran has been cleared of the allegation that Thinking Out Loud song ripped off Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On. The singer, who's 32 years old, strongly denied the accusations that his hit stole fundamental musical elements from Gaye's song and had faced a $100 million lawsuit brought by the heirs of the song co-writer Ed Townsend, but heard a verdict he was clear on Thursday. After a jury comprising of 3 men and 4 women deliberated for less than 3 hours before reaching their final decision. Outside the court, Ed, who is worth $200 million, said, "I'm just a guy with a guitar who loves writing music for people to enjoy. I am not and will not allow myself to be a piggy bank." Ed's lawyer had said that his case should have never been brought, and the singer staked his career on this outcome, saying that during the case he would be done with music if found guilty. The copyright lawsuit was first brought in 2018 by the estate of late Ed Townsend, who co-wrote the 1973 R&B classic with Marvin Gaye. It is said that Ed and his co-writer Amy Wedge copied and exploited without authorization or credit the composition of Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On by copying various elements, including its melody, rhythms, harmonies, drums, bass line, backing chorus, tempo, syncopation, and looping. Townsend's daughter, Catherine Griffin Townsend, said that the lawsuit is about today and standing up for not only my father's work, but all artists. The copyright infringement trial started on the 25th of April at the Manhattan Federal Court in New York, and an attorney for Townsend's heirs argued in his opening statement that a video of Ed performing a mashup of Thinking Out Loud and Let's Get It On at one of his concerts in Zurich in 2014, which they called the smoking gun for their case. A ranger at Kruger National Park took to Twitter to expose tourists, or as he puts it, idiots, breaking a rule and climbing out of their car so they can take pictures of some lions. According to Sandpark's rules and regulations, guests need to sign a form that indemnifies it against any claim, action, judgment, cost, and or expenses which may be made against Sandparks. It explicitly states that no part of your body may protrude from a window or sunroof, and doors should remain closed at all times. You sign an indemnity form when you go into Kruger National Park and other national parks, which means that the onus is on you to actually try and not to be prey for the lions. We know there are stories of people who have irresponsibly gotten out of their vehicles in areas that you are not allowed to, and they have been attacked, said Barbara Friedman. The Democratic Alliance has suspended its councillor, Malusi Boy, from taking part in any party activities, but Boy is back at work with an ordinary councillor. What's going on? The DA Cape Town caucus finds itself in a rather confusing and delicate situation following the suspension of one of its leading members, Malusi Boy. DA Councillor Boy was the mayoral committee MACO member responsible for human settlements when his office was raided by police's commercial crimes unit on the 15th of March. Although no one was arrested, electronic equipment, including Boy's mobile device and laptop, and documents were confiscated. The police said the raid was part of investigation into a fraud and corruption into the Human Settlements Directorate. Mayor Jordan Hill Lewis then moved to suspend Boy from his MACO role following the raid. A week later, the mayor pulled the plug on Boy and fired him from the MACO post. This came after Hill Lewis received an update from the police and said he believed that the allegations were serious. To protect the integrity of the municipality, he said it was best to fire Boy. Police spokesperson Captain F.C. Van Veek said they are still investigating and no arrests have been made. Botswana's record on human rights, including its alleged persecution of former President Ian Khama, was sharply criticized this week at the United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva. The Botswana government's ongoing politically motivated persecution of former President Ian Khama, who has fled to South Africa to avoid arrest and persecution, was referred to specifically at length during the Universal Period Review, which is the UPR, of the country carried out at the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva. The British law firm Omnia Strategy LLP, which is representing Khama in his prolonged legal battle with the Botswana government, noted in a statement that the persecution of Khama has included attempts on his life and threats against his life. Omnia Strategy is owned by Sherry Barr, the wife of former Prime Minister Tony Blair. In a statement, it said the 30 UN members states and the UPR had made recommendations to Botswana to improve its human rights record. Ahead of Botswana 2024, states were particularly concerned about civil and political rights, including freedom of expression and press. Omnia Strategy said the UK had called on Botswana to take effective measures to address threats to democracy by strengthening media freedom, freedom of expression, and transparency and accountability. As of yesterday, the new South African notes and coins will be in circulation. Now, coins are expected to see an update. However, the reason is mainly for a refresh of the artwork. Now, while 100% of our coins and 90% of our notes are produced locally, the South African Reserve Bank has a business contingency agreement with a company in Germany as somewhat of a backup plan should something happen to the Reserve Bank in South Africa, he adds. Any banknote published by the Reserve Bank since 1961 can be used as legal tender. We don't ever demonetize our money. It has been 30 years since we've changed coins. And so this is the reason why they have felt the need to upgrade and update our currency. Actor Mangaliso Ngema is a free man after the NPA withdrew the rape charges leveled against him by his sister Queen Ngema in 19th of April. Taking to his Instagram, the former Generations actor yesterday, the NPA officially withdrew the charges against him for false allegations of rape by a relative of his. It's been almost a year ongoing and going to court for malicious and false charges. Mangaliso explained that the rape charges have destroyed his brand and career, which span over 2 decades in the film industry. In addition, the actor made mention of sexual harassment accusations by his Litapo co-star Lorraine Moropa. The pain has been real, and I do not wish it on my worst enemy. People have judged and doubted me without knowing I'm the person, he wrote. Now, Mangaliso added, all I can say is that as men, we are not safe. As long as you are alive, the same thing can happen to you. My gratitude goes to everyone who has believed in me during the toughest times in my life. My legal team, Advocate Rita, Richard, Marina Slabuskachny, and Luis Nodier. You are the best ever. The NPA South Gauteng spokesperson Pindim Mjondondwane confirmed this. The case was withdrawn after evidence emerged convincing the prosecution that there were no prospects of a successful prosecution. Now, as we continue to look at our moments in current affairs, remembering, of course, that we are doing this until 12 o'clock and there is plenty more to come. Let's get the story about what's happening currently with Team SA. Team SA make the African Athletics Championships in Zambia. Team SA finished top of the medal table with 66 medals, collecting 33 gold, 19 silver, and 14 bronze to become the most successful team in the championship's history. Athletics South Africa President James Moloi, who accompanied the team to Zambia, believes the future of the sport is in good hands. These young boys and girls made us proud, the biggest achievement and team exceeding all expectations. The future of the sport looks bright and there's a succession plan, Moloi told SABC Sports. We saw the new Akani Simbine, Wade van Niekerk, and Caster Semenya. We did well in the field of events and dominated the championship on the track. Venig van Rensburg and Anya Nel won gold in the women's and men's 400-meter hurdles in the under 20 age group, while Tumi Ramukhopa took home the under 18 women's 400 meters and 100 meters respectively. Ashley Erasmus claimed 2 gold in the women's under 20 discus and shot put, with Alicia Kuno doing the same with the women's under 18 shot put and discus. So it looks like the future of the sport is intact, and the sport itself is in good hands. Good to see it, man. I love